Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Cash Flow Talk, and today I'm going to talk about landlords. Why is the most sued profession in the world? Hey guys, how are you? Welcome again to the Cash Flow Talk. Yes, again today I'm going to talk about landlording because nowadays everybody's talking about flipping and everybody's talking about wholesaling. But landlording is the ultimate goal of any real estate investor, in my opinion. Or let me rephrase that. It's my biggest goal as a real estate investor. Why? Because it brings in all the positive cash flow and the financial freedom that we all, or that I am looking for, me and my family are looking for as investors. So again, today I'm going to talk about why is it the most sued profession and what can we do about it and why it happens. And so if you like what you're hearing, if you like this message, and if you're finding any value in any of our videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, or don't forget to comment below if you guys have any questions, and hit that little bell if you want more notifications whenever I pull another video out, me or my wife, on our Cash Flow Talk channel. So let's get to it. So the problem is that landlords, you're buying a rental property, and in my case, we're looking for low-income families or mid-income families. I don't like to be a landlord of high-end properties because the return on investment is really, really bad, right? You're putting just money in an asset that may go up, may go down, but they're not cash flowing. And if you look in your market, most likely the higher end locations of these properties, they're usually negative cash flow. You tend to pay every single month to cover for the expenses. Whereas in the mid-range or the low-income properties, you're getting that positive cash flow every month after you pay all your expenses. The monthly income covers all the expenses and leaves you with positive cash flow. That's why you can see in the back, I've mentioned it all the time, is the biggest word in my business. That's why my YouTube channel is the Cash Flow Talk, my business is Cash Flow Properties, my website is Cash Flow FL, and I'm known as the cash flow guy. So that's why cash flow is the most important word in my business. So again, why are landlords the most sued profession ever? Because everybody hates the landlord. See, for 95% of the population, who are renting properties, their rent payment is usually the most expensive expense every single month. So month in and month out, every single month, they're receiving a text message or a phone call from a landlord. Hey, where's your payment? Hey, where's your payment? Hey, where's your payment? And it happens all the time. So it becomes frustrating for a landlord to be chasing around the tenants, and it becomes a frustration for the tenants. Even though they have a signed lease agreement, even though they know and they're expecting this payment, it's always the biggest bill. Electricity, water, cell phone, all these little bills, they're $100, $200, $300. But when you're talking about rent payment, depending on the location, depending on the neighborhood, they're paying $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, $2,500. For most of these people, we're talking about 25 to 35% of their total household income goes towards rent payment. So their bank account goes down all the way, or the majority, every single first of the month or 15th of the month, or whatever day you agree with your tenant. So it is very frustrating for the landlord to be chasing around money, and it's very frustrating for the tenant to having to pay their biggest expense to this idiot, to this asshole. And that's why when they're behind on payments, they start coming up with excuses so they don't have to pay the rent on time, or they can get the fee waived, or they can buy a couple more weeks or days to pay the rent. Oh yeah, I haven't paid your rent because I have a leak in the roof. Oh, I haven't paid your rent because my microwave is not working. Oh, I haven't paid your rent because of these and these and that. And then they start making up lies because they run out of lies. And please, forgive me if this is one of the situations with one of your landlords, or maybe even your situation. But the problem is that when landlords are collecting their money, tenants and tenants are struggling to pay that money, they start coming up with excuses. My car broke down. My son is in the hospital. I'm going through divorce. I don't know. Excuses. My job, I got laid off, and these and these and that. So that's when they get frustrated with the landlord, and for every tiny little repair, they want legal action. Why do they want legal action? Because it's a legal way for them to hold their payment and for them to buy a couple more days or a couple more weeks or even months. So if this is you, one thing that works for me is you have to have thick skin. Sometimes these confrontations or these conversations may become very aggressive. And aggressive meaning they start to use bad language on you, showing you like, have you ever lent money to a family member or a good friend of yours and you're trying to get that money back? Hey, it's your money, but you're trying to get that money back, and then they start hiding from you and not answering the phone and not answering text messages. All of a sudden, they don't want to go out and have a drink with you. Well, it happens, but guess what? It's my money. I lend you $200, I lend you $500, I lend you $2,000. Pay me back. I helped you, and now I'm the asshole. So it's the same situation with your tenant. Even though they know they have that obligation, they want to come after you, and they want to start chasing you, and they want to start, not chasing you, they want to start to offend you or use negative language so they can avoid their responsibility. That's the problem. Avoid their responsibility. So a few things that work for me with my tenants is I have to build thick skin. You know, all these conversations with tenants, they don't mean anything. They're just frustrated. I put myself in their shoes. It's their biggest expense, but at the same time, I have to be tough. It's a business. It's not a charity. I'm running a business. I'm not running a charity. When I want to give money to a charity, I give the money to a charity with nothing in exchange, with no returns expected. But when I'm renting a property, I'm renting a property because it's a business. I have a mortgage to pay if the property's paid off, if the property has a mortgage, and I have taxes and insurance every single month, whether your property is paid off or not. All right. So have thick skin and have good communication, guys. There's 2 rules that I give to my tenants, and I put it in writing in my lease agreements. Number 1, you have to pay your rent on time, and number 2, even though it's my house, it's my property, it's your home. All right. It's the tenant's home, and they have to be able to maintain it, take care of it, love it. It's their roof, and it's where they're raising their kids. I like to buy 3 and 2s, 3 bedroom, 2 baths and above. I don't like the little ones, the little houses, because it has a little more vacancy, and I have more videos about that. But what I'm telling you is the reason why I buy 3 2s and 4 2s and 5 2s, properties with more rooms, is because usually they have kids. So it's their home, and that's the home where they're raising their kids from. So you have to have good communication. So in my lease agreement, I put it very clear in very simple language. I don't use attorneys to put these language in there. I got 2 rules: pay on time and take care of your home. It's my property, but it's your home. If I don't get paid on time, this is the biggest advice I can give you if you are a landlord. Don't wait to put your 3-day eviction notice on the door. See, I have more videos about how I run my business and how I run my rental properties, but rent is due on the 1st, but it's late on the 5th. So they have 5 days in case their car breaks down, in case it's a Saturday or Sunday, in case they're in a hospital, in case they have issues with their late payments, with their late income payroll, in case it's holidays, Thanksgiving, whatever. If it's between the 1st and the 5th of the month, they have 5 days to go to the bank and make a deposit. Now, there's other ways how they can make payments. They can use the newer apps, mobile apps that are free, and they can transfer money from their account to my account. They can use the Venmo app. They can use the Cash App, or they can use Zelle. They can go to Bank of America, which is in every single corner of the United States, or at least in South Florida, where my properties are in, and make a deposit. They can send a check by mail or cashier's check. They have so many ways on how they can make the payments, and all of them are acceptable. I just want to get paid because I have my responsibilities with the taxes, insurance, mortgage company if the properties are have a mortgage, and I also have responsibilities with repairs. You know, these properties cannot be repaired out of my own pocket. I repair the properties from the cash flow that I receive from these rental properties. So my biggest advice, and one thing that works for me, is if the property is not in by the 5th, if the rental income or the deposit or the payment is not in by the 5th, they have a 50-day late fee, and they have 5 days to pay their rent amount plus the $50 late fee. Now, if by the 11th of the month I have not received payment, I post a 3-day notice in the door. Guys, I only pay to my attorney, to my evictions attorney, $60 to put a 3-day notice on the door. That means they have 3 business days to make a deposit, including the $50 to make a deposit. Yeah, I spent $60, but the good thing is I don't need to put 3-day notices every single time. The first time that they move in, the first time that they're late, if I post it, now they know that I'm serious. So they post a 3-day notice on their door. They know they have a responsibility, and they usually come through. Guys, I've been a landlord for about 8 years. I have multiple properties here in Miami and in Detroit, and I have a really good communication with my tenants, but they know the importance for them to pay rent on time. So one of the reason why I'm telling this is none of my tenants are more than 30 days late because of this situation. If they become more than 11 days late in rent, I post a 3-day notice, and if they don't pay on time, I move forward with eviction. Now, what are the complications if they move forward with eviction? I'll share with you in another video. But they immediately go to eviction. I start the eviction process, and if they want to bring their standards and their situation with the rental property back into the condition that it's supposed to be, they have to pay the rent amount, the $50 late fee, and the fee that I charge for the eviction, because my attorney charges a fee, so I charge it to them, or they get evicted, period, end of story. I don't want to play with you if you don't want to make payments. All right, so one action for you guys to take home if you are a landlord: please send letter to tenants. Even if you post or don't post 3-day notices, send a letter to your tenants with new terms and conditions and agreements, showing in written instructions the rent is paid on whatever date, late payment or late fees due on whatever date, and that you're going to post a 3-day notice on the door by whatever date if they haven't paid. Now, you have to come through, and if you say by the 11th you're gonna see a white notice or a pink notice on the door, you have to come through and do it, especially the first time. And if they don't believe it, you have to start your eviction process the very first time, and after that they're usually going to be on time, or they're not going to be on time but still pay you the late fee, but they're not going to be 10, 15, 20, 30 days late. They're usually going to be on time. Now, for example, I want to have a quick experience that happened to me last week. One of my tenants' mother died, and she's in Honduras. She's from Honduras, but she lives here in Miami. So she called me in a nice way, and she said, "Hey, Camilo, I know rent is due, but I'm going for 2 weeks to Honduras because my mom died. That's all I can think about right now. I'm about $300 short. Would you be okay waiting for me for 2 weeks?" Of course. I mean, we're humans. Things happen. Shit happens. And of course, I'm a human person too. I love my mom as well. And if something happens to her, that's the first thing I'm going to think about. But we had great communication. I told her, "Listen, I'll give you 2 weeks. I understand your frustration. I understand your situation. I understand you have to take care of family first. But please, when you come back, think of me first, okay? Because if you're using these as an excuse to not pay rent and then you're going to be 30 days late, then we're going to have a problem. But for now, take your 2 weeks. I have no problem. Go to your country, take care of your family first, and then come back and make the payment. I still need to make the payment to the bank." All right, Guys, if you like this information, please subscribe to the channel below. Guys, I don't make any money from doing these videos. Honestly, I'm just trying to bring you value. I also learn from my own experiences. I learn from other people's experience because, as you know, I interview people on my YouTube channel as well. So if you're liking what you're hearing, just share it to your contacts, share it to your people, and like and subscribe. Just give me some love so I can keep doing this and keep motivating me. And if you guys have any questions or comments, please post them below. If you're interested in buying rental properties in South Florida, I'm a wholesaler. I have a lot of property, a lot of inventories here in South Florida every single day. So please contact me, put your email address below, or contact me or private message me, and I'll definitely add you to my list, and I'll send you a lot of cash flowing rental properties that you can buy. And I also can teach you probably how you can buy these properties with little money, or how you can buy the property and then refinance and take your money out. But you gotta watch these videos, you gotta subscribe, give me a thumbs up. Guys, I love you, take care, and just think about this word, cash flow. If it cash flows, it's a great deal. All right, see you guys next time. Take care.